I have been going back and forth and finally made a decision. I have sold my bold action armies. My German and Americans have been sold completely, and they are gone. They're out of my house. They're shipped. And does not mean I'm quitting bold action, but I created those armies based on what was on sale, and they were hodgepodge, and I had difficulty locally getting what I wanted without ordering directly from Warlord. And I didn't want to order like one or two pieces from Warlord. And I never built purchase models based on the list. That has changed. And I was having my own internal conflicts over having a German army. So I wanted to do something that most people don't do, and I decided to do Bulgarians. I have gone through back and forth. I'm like, I want to do a minor power, and I have settled on Bulgarians. This is a quick picture reference of some stuff I found for Bulgarians. This is from Reenactors, and it gives a different look, and I'll talk about the reference of this picture when I get to my list. My first thing I did was create a list, and this is kind of what I'm going to go with. I feel like this is pretty interesting mixture, especially for minor power. I'm going with a second lieutenant, and this is going to have one other dude at regular. So I'm going to have one guy and then one extra dude. This is going to be regular lieutenant. This is a very heavy regular list. My two prerequisite infantry squads are both going to have one with a Panzerfaust and rifle, NCO, and infantry with rifle. What's interesting is they do get pistols for their NCOs. I did not upgrade them to SMGs. I have a medic with one extra model. I've never really used medics, but for the points of 43 points, I wanted to see what would happen if I had a medic running around in the back of my infantry squads. I am taking one unit of inexperienced full out, 9 rifles and 1 pistol. I am only having one squad take an LMG. So this squad is 6 with light LMG, Panzerfaust, and pistol. I am going to go with one LMG squad as a mobile fire support that I can maybe put in the middle of the field and let them pivot shoot as needed. And that means my other 4 squads of infantry can move around the field with them supporting. I have this squad. This is a Panzerfaust, rifle, and pistol. I may tweak this to put in an SMG in here. I'm not sure yet. I am doing a medium mortar with spotter, a sniper team, a anti-tank rifle team. I'm taking this for, it's an order dice at 39 points, but it gives me some anti-veteran penetration with 1 shot, or another possible threat for soft skin vehicles and or some light armor that I might encounter. I am taking a medium howitzer with a spotter. This is going to give me a 3-inch template, and this is going to give me some HE. Now, I am taking a 231. I debated between a 222 and a 231, and I decided for 5 points I'm going with the 231 because it's not open topped. I lose the flak rule, but I still keep recce. 7+ armored vehicle, so it is a light armored vehicle, but I get that light autocannon, so I get 2 shots, which the more shots the happier I am. Or I have the MMG option. I'm also bringing a Panzer 35/38. This is going to give me a light anti-tank gun, so it has a little bit more pop. It gives me a +4. The HE I'm not too happy, but it does give me the forward MMG, so I can shoot that and that coaxial option. For 135 points, I'm feeling 35 points more. I get the option of shooting an MMG and the anti-tank gun, and it has a little bit better armor at 8+. And this one I really had a lot of excruciating torment over, and that was, what am I going to take for an Axis support option as a minor power? And I decided to take another 231. I went back and forth on a lot of options. I was thinking about the Stugs, but they all were light howitzers. I was looking at light anti-tank or a light howitzer. Now, for me, a light howitzer is nice, but I already had the medium in here. The light anti-tank guns, if I was going to do that, I would rather have something that gave me 2 shots. So that got me back to armored cars, and I was thinking of, like, if this is really a partisan patrol force, having some armored vehicles with crowd control is what they're probably going to go with, more than maybe tanks. So I went with another 231. So this list is going to have 2 armored cars, both light autocannons, which give me the option of rolling 2 dice when I roll that big gun. And if I get 2 templates, I could start messing around with some of that veteran infantry I come across it. So I ended up going with a 231 for the 100 points. For my medium howitzer, I'm going to do just a regular artillery tractor to be their tow at 15 points. And then I'm going to take 2 trucks. This way, at 30 some points, it gives me another order dice. And if I need to pack up infantry, I have that option to move infantry across the table. They each are able to transport 12. So I can get the medic with a squad or the lieutenant with a squad, because no squad's bigger than 10. So I can definitely move some infantry around the table. So I could pack up my sniper team if I really wanted them to move. So that just gives me a lot of options. Before I go this, their special rule is no one can forward deploy. It takes away sniper deployment spotters. It really forces, I think, a different change of game when they come to the table. So I kind of want to see how that plays out. It's just a different way to play. So I figure with COVID the way it is, I'm going to get into this project and take some time, make this a really different, unique army for me to bring to the table. And it's just a different way to play. Back to this uniform. So the Bulgarians had a lot of German provided weaponry, it looked like, but the uniforms and the helmets, that's where the gear comes in. So this is what I'm doing for my models. I am using a Hungarian mortar team. The helmets look about right. The main thing is, since most of the mortar teams or all the mortar teams from Warlord are metal, I looked like every picture I saw, the Bulgarians didn't have the canisters and some of the extra gear. They have sacks and pouches and so forth. So I felt like the Hungarians would take a little bit less work to make them Bulgarians, and the helmets look pretty close. My medium howitzer is going to be a Blitzkrieg, because it looked like the Blitzkrieg Germans were really close to the uniform. I know there's some other Bulgarian models out there. I'm not going for super, like, this is 100% historical accurate. I'm going to see what I can do. It looked like on the picture they don't really have any pouches on the little part of their outer jacket. So I am going to try to take my Dremel and see if I can shave off the pockets that are on the German jackets. But this will be my medium howitzer. My infantry, I'm going to use Blitzkrieg German, as well as a mixture of some Soviets. I figured that since they're partisan forces, they are going to salvage whatever they find in the field. So I do want to give some flavor of the units that they're going to have some German, the Bulgarian kind of look, but also throw in some Russian bodies with German heads. I felt like the German helmet is very close to the Bulgarians, so I'm going to throw in a little mixture into my squads that some of them took Russian gear, maybe they took some Russian rifles to mix in with the Germans. I'm going with Blitzkrieg miniature models for the vehicles. They're resin. I went back and forth looking at the plastic models, and I know there's been back and forth. I'm looking for good models to the price, and I decided, since I'm going to have 6 vehicles in this 1250 list, that's a lot, I feel like. I wanted something that I wasn't going to be unhappy about some of the fit on, like the treads on the tank. So I'm going with their 231s, two of these. I'm going to pick up the Panzer 38T from them. And what I'm going to do is I ordered 3 of these flatbed trucks. I looked at some 3D print options and they were almost as expensive as this. So I'm going with the resin for a couple dollars more. I don't have to worry about the 3D print lines. Now, I am going to use one as an artillery tractor. So what I want to do is get some extra bits and stowage and put it in the back, so it looks like it's geared towards only carrying artillery. So that way it's like shells and extra bits and bobs in there. So I'm going to work on that. I think that's going to add some nice flavor to the set. So that is what I'm going to be working on. Hopefully I'll be doing plenty of videos to follow up my progress. Again, I'm not going 100% historical accuracy, but I'm going to bring, and I don't know how competitive this is. I feel like this is going to be an intimidating list because 3 armored vehicles coming onto a table, that's a lot. Now, if I go face a Tiger, it's going to be what it is. They got a heavily armored tank that I'm going to have to watch. And one hit from their tank will blow up any of mine. So if everything goes right for my opponent, within 3 turns, all my armored vehicles are gone. But most games I've played, the most I've ever played someone is they have 1 tank and 1 armored car. So I'm coming to the game with 2 armored cars and a tank, which is a little bit different. So I do have 17 order dice. 3 of them are transports and 1's a medic. So technically I got 13 combat dice. But I got a mortar, 2 armored cars, and a tank, and a medium artillery. So I got 5 pieces that can give out high explosive shots. And 2 of them can be indirect through a spotter. And when I go and deploy, I'm going to have a sniper and 2 spotters to put up on a table. So I'm going to have a pretty good, I feel, advantage. And because I can force their sniper to not start on the table, they're going to have to move the sniper in onto the table. So depending on the board, I feel like I can put a lot of control out to influence the game, which puts me in a different place because I usually like reacting. This would be making me more of a table setter. It'll make me change my playstyle. So I'm looking forward to this project. Thanks for watching in. Hope if you have input questions, let me know in the chat. I do want to tailor down a list at like 1,000 points and 750 so I can have different scales of list. But this is my first time to really dive down, play a list. I'm building a list specific and see how that goes. Have you tried this before? Let me know, how did it work for you? Any thoughts that you want to add? Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you made it to the end of this video, awesome. Talk to you later.